This is the Skyler Jarvis Show! Yeah!
What's up, everybody? This is the Skyler Jarvis Show. I'm your host, Skyler, and I got my friend Nuris here for another episode.
Hi, everybody. I'm happy to be back here.
That's good. So, me and Nuris, we play a lot of video games. Shout out to all my gamers that are watching this podcast. Shout out. Yeah, even blind people play. What? So, to get things started, we're going to talk about a few games that are fully, in our eyes, fully accessible for the blind. We've been able to get through these games. I've beat 2 of these games completely. No cheats, no hacks, nothing like that. So, great achievement. And we want to talk about accessibility in video games because these video games in particular changed the game for us. If any of you guys that watch my show are a fan of the game or the TV show The Last of Us, this is going to be the episode for you. So, Nuris, what have you got to say about this?
Well, I will say that this Last of Us game means a lot to me, and the fact that it's truly accessible, it's very awesome. And
oh yeah,
I will say that the person that brought the accessibility to the game is a guy named Brandon Cole, who
shout out
we
Brandon
will recognize.
Cole.
Rest in peace to him.
We need to give him props because he was one of the main people that was actually putting blind accessibility into the conversation. Now, a lot of games have, color filters and stuff like that, but at the same time, some of us need more than just color filters, and we want to highlight that in this podcast. Do. So
most of us require audio cues or sound to be able to play a game, and descriptions, of course, and a screen reader.
Right. Screen reader, audio description, I can understand if some developers don't do that per se, but at least have a screen reader and navigation assist. And for us, I was watching an interview with, well, not an interview, it was the Grounded 2 documentary for the making of The Last of Us Part 2. And Brandon Cole is actually in that documentary. And one of the things the developer said is, Brandon told us it's not about making an easy mode. And I really grabbed a hold of that. I'm like, yeah, we're not asking for an easy mode or a cheat through the game. We want to play the game just like anybody else would and collect things and do things on the map, upgrade our skill trees in certain games. We want to be able to do that and play the games that other people are playing and feel like we can actually do it and be challenged,
Exactly. Like, for us to be able to play a game like anybody else would, it means a lot for those who are blind.
Yes, it does. And there's not really many people advocate. I mean, I don't know. There might be somebody. There's obviously somebody advocating in certain games. Shout out to Spider-Man 2. I think they did a very good job. They even added audio description, and it feels like a Marvel comic or a Marvel movie. It's so good. It is so good. But so The Last of Us by the time I got introduced to The Last of Us, like part 2 had come out in 2020, and the accessibility in that game was obviously revolutionary. Like nothing in a video game had been seen like that. So that was the first sign, and then they remade The Last of Us Part 1, and I want to bring a very, very good discussion up for all those people saying that The Last of Us Part 1 was just a remake of a game remastered in 2014, originally released for the PlayStation 5. Like, yes, but did those 2 remasters have any of the accessibility that Part 1 remake does? No. So, obviously, it was a great upgrade for us blind players. And I hear the Part 1 remake just downed way too much. And I just want to give props to Naughty Dog for taking the time to remake that game and have the level of accessibility that Part 2 did. And for blind people to be able to say, hey, I can play this.
Right.
Nuris?
Yes, I agree with you on that. That Naughty Dog has done a good job. Props to you guys for doing this. This means a lot to all of us in the blind community that want to play this game. And it's very amazing now that you can do that.
And it was actually my good friend Nuris here who introduced The Last of Us to me. And I mean, I had heard of The Last of Us. I heard it was a very well-loved game. I hadn't really played it because I didn't know if it was accessible enough, or I didn't, tell you the truth, I didn't really pay attention to it. Well, when I first met Nuris, she asked me if I played video games, and I said yes. She asked me if I played The Last of Us. I'm like, no, I've heard of it, but I haven't played it. And she sent me a link to Brandon Cole's YouTube channel. And my mind was, like, I didn't listen to it when she first sent it to me. And then the next time we talked, she was like, no, have you checked that out? You need to check that out. And I checked it out and was mind blown. And it made me want to get a PlayStation 5. I was like, I'm going to get a PlayStation 5 so I can play The Last of Us Part 1. And I haven't felt that way about a game since Red Dead Redemption 2 back in 2000, when I got it back in 2019.
I mean, this game has changed everything for both of us. Like, we can't be a day without playing this game. We go back to it every time.
Well, I mean, we obviously don't play it every day, but
No, but there's certain moments we will, and that's what I was trying to get at. Like,
yeah.
At some part of the day, we will pick it up and play.
Exactly. And another thing, like, I don't really care what kind of game it is. If it's accessible and, like, everybody's playing it, it's a real popular game. Some game companies you would like to see incorporate that level of accessibility. What are some of yours, Nuris?
Well, the people, Rockstar, of course, that makes Red Dead Redemption, that's one of them.
Yes, and that's one of them I really agree on, because Red Dead Redemption 2 was one of my not one of my favorite game of 2019. I expressly remember getting an Xbox. Like, I begged my mom to take me to the GameStop in Hickory and get an Xbox, and then save up and get Red Dead 2. I felt so good when I was able to buy that Xbox and play it. I was gonna get a PlayStation 4, but it was. I still got to play the game, and me and Nuris both agree that Red Dead Redemption 2. Rockstar, if somebody hears this that works at Rockstar, you need to step up your game as far as blind accessibility goes, man. Because, Brandon Cole, one of the things he said, and it eventually came true, what I wouldn't give to play a game like The Last of Us. I'm going to say the same thing. I'm gonna echo in his footsteps. What I wouldn't give to play a game like Red Dead 2. I would love to see that. And if anybody, like I said, if anybody from Rockstar that is hearing this, if you hear this, I want you to know that when GTA 6 comes out, it better have some accessibility. Like, I mean, I'm not exactly expecting the Last of Us level accessibility. I really hope that's what happens. I hope it's a very accessible game because that would make such good headlines. GTA 6 is the most anticipated game of all time at this point. So, why not? Why not expand your fan base? The next GTA 6 Online, make people want to play that game that are blind. Like I said, expand your fan base.
Right. Or, the people that made Crash Bandicoot. That would be cool to see that one day. Or
Actually, Naughty Dog did.
yeah, so that would be cool one day.
Yeah, early Naughty Dog for sure. I would love to see the Uncharted series get remade and then rebuilt to have all that accessibility in there. That would be epic, man.
Yeah, that would definitely be good to be made.
The God of War trilogy, I know the God of War trilogy remake just got announced, and I honestly hope there's there's been a lot of accessibility in their game since Ragnarok, but with this trilogy remake, I really hope they hit the ground running with blind accessibility, because I say if there's more games where that is represented and blind people are able to play the game,
that would be a great thing to happen.
And one thing I want to point out, games that do have accessibility, for example, God of War Ragnarok, there were some parts where the screen reader would not read out. Like skill trees, for example. Blind people want to be able to upgrade those skill trees.
Yeah, we do.
And play the game properly. That is really what we want in our video games.
And if we see that happen on the trilogy, we'll be very happy, because that's something we've been waiting for quite a long time.
Oh, yes. Like I said, Uncharted, especially Uncharted 4, to be remade with accessibility, that would be really cool. Yeah, like Nura said, Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah. Right. I want to see that too, that would be great.
Oh, yeah. Crash Bandicoot would be cool to see, because that was like prime Naughty Dog. I think that was their first game, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was their first
back in the
game.
PlayStation 2 days, man.
Oh, yeah.
Jak and Daxter. And we understand that older games might not be able to, really older games, like games from the early 2000s, might not be able to have that same level of accessibility. We understand. But with new games that are coming out, and, I would say everything up from 2000, late 2000s to now, we need remakes of this game with that level of accessibility, because we understand basic remasters you're not really gonna be able to do much.
No, you're not.
So you have to build it from the ground up, and we understand that, and we understand the budget with some companies, but for, like Nura said, with companies like Rockstar, there's really no excuse there.
No, there isn't.
Because GTA Online has so many players, Call of Duty has so many players. You know, those are two very popular games that are out. I would like to see Call of Duty in their heyday, like from 2007 to 2012. Modern Warfare to Black Ops 2. I would love to see remakes of those with accessibility, so we would be able to play those classic games. You know?
Yeah, that would be a great thing to see, you know. We know that a lot of games can't really, you know, won't really be made like that, but at least from this point on, we want to see a lot of games being made accessible.
Forza Motorsport for the Xbox fans. There is Forza Motorsport.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to play that game and see the accessibility in it. You know, like I said, I'm willing to try anything as long as it's accessible for the blind and we're able to play it without having to ask somebody like our parents or grandparents to come read what's on the screen.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it kind of annoys them sometimes when they're trying to do stuff. They're
Yep.
trying to do stuff. So, you know, like
I mean, I'd love to see Forza Motorsport
yeah.
on PlayStation 5. That is one of my biggest dreams, and if that gets made, I'll be very happy.
Yeah, I mean Forza 5's already on there, so why not? You know, make games that are actually accessible.
Yeah, exactly.
Like on other platforms. Yeah, I agree with you, man. I agree with you. So, I want to take the time, given the fact that we're talking about games, to promote my gaming channel, which is making a comeback, seeing as I got a PlayStation 5 and I can record videos now. I had this thing going since 2018, so I'm gonna promote that right there. It's gonna be in the description below if you're watching it on YouTube or any of your podcast platforms. The link for my gaming YouTube channel is going to be in the description. And there's some game videos of me playing GTA 5, San Andreas, Red Dead 1 and 2. And of course, I'm going to be doing a story playthrough of The Last of Us Part 1 and 2 at some point. So,
You're right.
The link is going to be in the description. And Nuris, do you have anything else to say?
Well, basically, like I said, accessibility means the whole world to us, and we're grateful for the companies that do take the time to create accessible games like these that we've been able to play so far, because it makes a difference not having to ask your family, hey, can you read the screen for me? Can you do X, Y, and Z? And it's like, you know.
Exactly. So, for all my blind gamers, holla in the comments. This your boy Sky Boss and Nuris Coronado signing off. Peace!
Peace, everybody.
This is the